Live from the Cactus Creek at Ibri, he is the king of prime time, Ghana's undisputed entertainment laureate, and still the youngest old man in Ghana. Put your hands together, show some love for the indefatigable KSM.
The KSM Show.
Okay, folks, yes, we're back again, and the program, yes, you know, is the KSM Show. And last week we started our conversations, and it was really getting there. It's amazing the kind of reaction I'm getting from you people, and everybody is asking for a part two. Say, oh, KSM, come on, I started in my part two. So we're gonna just try and wrap it up, you know, because of a few reasons. Number one, want to know where he stands now in terms of his association with Net2. I'm talking about Kwaku Annan, by the way. I'm sorry if I didn't introduce you who I'm talking about. And then number two, I know he was piling up some documentaries to put on the program, some of them extremely controversial. And let me just pick his brains on what is happening with everything. So, folks, welcome to the show. Once again, I'm in a very coded area, but later on, I'll catch him. But in the meantime, let me welcome the most controversial man now. Show some love for Kwaku Annan. Kwaku, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well, you know, last week I was sort of hinting that, you know, I may do a part two because it was getting very exciting. And it looks like we'll do a part two. So I'm glad you're here. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, let the agenda move. Okay, folks, we're taking a commercial break. When we come back, the show will begin.
The KSM Show.
I'm sure you know that the Harlot Life Assurance is proudly associated with the KSM Show. Now, the information from Harlot is this. Life insurance is no longer for the selected few, man. Everybody can get life insurance. All you have to do is to have a Vodafone SIM card and you dial *269# and just follow the voice prompts and you'll be easily registered for your life insurance. If you want to talk to more people about how this thing works out, then why don't you dial their hotline, which is 0302 799 788. That's the hotline to Harlot Life Assurance.
It's what he did. A bush a piece or be into 1,000 Ghana cedi near Francisco or Penuque. Ayaka.
Mommy, I have 2 boys in my home. See, my leg is broken. The hospital bill they are finished. My house money all they are disconnected. So what for no money? You come and say it now, mommy.
And your family.
Me bambo life insurance in tea and was so me. A player at me, a dear year, a dear chance from body, Ukofiska him. Me catch the book banku. With little money like 1 cedi. When you are from dear or catch him say, insurance dear. A big man talk. You just dial *269. No about hash. Where we are?
Always is a chicken. It's a chicken.
With 1 Ghana cedi, 5 Ghana cedis, 15 Ghana cedis, or 30 Ghana cedis per month, you can get up to 30,000 Ghana cedis for funeral and disability cost. Dial *269# to sign up via Vodafone Cash today. Me Bumbo, insurance made for you.
Cactus Creek, still firing on all cylinders. If you have a party of about 10 to 12 and you want some nice, cozy preparations in a serene atmosphere, just give them a call. They'll make all the preparations for you. They get you the greatest package you can ever get, and you will have a great time. There's a pool, there are games, there are so many things you can do at Cactus Creek, and I'm sure most of you know already. So if you want to get in touch, call this number on Cactus Creek,
0302 955 432 or 0302 965 460.
Locate
Reservation. We have some new numbers, and the new numbers are 0302 955 432 or 0302 965 460.
the best decision you'll ever make. Welcome home.
Are you traveling to any of these cities? Accra, Wa, Takrade, Kumasi. There's no point driving again, man. Driving is overrated. The best thing to do now is to fly. And if you're going to fly, your best bet is with Passion Air. So call Passion Air on their hotline, and that is 0800 221 221.
As you can see, folks, I have donned my Adipa Essentials. If you want any of these jackets or one like these, this is the number to call. 0209 059 215. So call Adipa and get yourself a pretty decent jacket.
The KSM Show.
Folks, we're back for the commercial break. Kwaku, welcome to the show again.
Thank you very much, KSM.
Before I start, let me just clear this, because we all know the rifts you've had with Net2 and with Mr. Kennedy Japan. Let me find out if he should come to you. And our party company phobia about Jose Charlie, the idea no con and paint Musan Kamum, Nasan con the two, Nakoto Jumaswa. Are there any circumstances that will consider going back and starting the scene?
Yeah, KSM, good evening to you, the viewers here and around the world. To start with, the question whether or not Kwaku would go back or Kwaku would want to continue his investigative work on Net2 TV. I must say it's early days yet to, as it were, come to terms with whether or not I would want to go back to that television station to work with. But however, may I say that I don't hold any grudge to my big brother or a father, Kennedy Kwame Akompreko Japan. I don't hold any grudge to him, no. And so I want people to, as it were, to demystify that aspect of whether some feel that I hold grudge to him, no. We are all human beings. Nobody knows where each one of us can fall at the left or right, depends on who is standing at that very material moment. And it becomes very crucial to, as it were, say, let's hold the olive branch, or both of us can decide to eat a humble pie. But that, in doing so, may also not necessarily warrant that I have to go to Net2 TV. That's, for me, is early days yet.
Okay. But personally, you are open to a reconciliation with because you guys were a tag team, man. You were tight.
Yes, yes. I want to say this clear to viewers, millions here and around the world, that I don't hold any grudge to him. I mean, I do also know that at this time, he might have come to terms with the reality that whatever that he did, he might have seen some mistakes out of this, because primarily or fundamentally, it's not as the way he was told, and he took it to be that of Kwaku has gone to insult a high-profile personality or something. So I'm sure by now he has, revised his nose one way or the other. Yeah. Okay,
great. I just wanted to clarify that, and let's move on, because I know that you've been doing a lot of investigative stuff. One thing that I know that you did was some sort of investigation to this Galamsey thing. And actually, people were looking forward to seeing what you uncovered on the Galamsey thing. Can you give me a little bit about what happened with that, and then we can move on to other issues?
Great. KSM, before I answer that question, permit me to, because I know this show is being viewed by high-profile persons, including the president, and I want to send a message to Mr. President about something that is going on. And may I say, his office is allegedly been accused of something. And again, it is something that borders on his administration.
What did he be accused of? He said accused of something. What is
I mean, a subset of the office of the presidency is being accused of something. And I will quickly whisper to the president through this program that a group of people, call them a syndicator group, who apparently are using the presidency, as it were, to siphon money or some sort. Here's very serious. You know, there are some contractors who have won big time contracts in real estate to build houses for Ghanaians. And they managed to wire money through their partners. And these monies have come situated at the central bank. And there are some syndicates at the central bank, together with some high-ranking government officials, are sitting on this money. And they use all kinds of tactics by saying, oh, you didn't go through the financial regulation, it's a money laundry, blah, blah, blah. And then they just take the money. And we are not talking about small money, huge sums of money. Somebody's 49 million euros is at the central bank and somebody is sitting on it. A high profile government official who has been accused.
Yeah, let me get this a bit clear. So you're saying this 49 million euro is for a contractor?
Yeah, it's being wired here.
It's being wired.
Yeah.
And
this exactly, and this is meant for real estate. And some government officials are trying to massage the system, and it's not even one person. My investigation has closed up on number of people whose monies. KSM, you will not believe this until it hits the media airspace, and you'll be shocked. But I believe that through this program, Mr. President, we hear this because the national security is investigating this, and they are refusing to cooperate with the media. Trust me. A lot's coming about this. And this is where sometimes we talk, people don't get it. On the issue to do with Galamsey, also on investigations that we are doing. KSM, at the time when my team were on the ground doing the investigations, it was about when the president, His Excellency Kwaku, in his first tenure in office, has, if you like, decreed that if it would be that he would put his presidency on the line. To fight against these men. Okay? And yes, some get to us how. So president is in the position better line and so against the backdrop of fighting Galamsey. Then I'm sure this was quite political risk that the president took. But then again and again, Ubebisa said, was the president saying this to himself, interrogating himself, and also with the machinery ready to fight this and his people, the lieutenant, high-ranking government officials, municipal chief executives, district chief executives, ministers of state, were they all ready to back the president on this high drive, on this superhighway, or it was just the president saying this in a decree? For me, where we are, KSM, I'm to tell by humble appeal, or by humble saying that a lot of them who were to help the president achieve this political high goal have misled him. All my president means easy for.
Okay. Let me make sure I understand what you're saying so that we can move on to the other areas. That the president did say that he's putting his presidency at stake. He's going to be a one-time president if that's going to be the cause of fighting Galamsey. Now, what you're saying is that he's not getting the backing. Are you just saying he's not getting the backing, or you're saying that
he's not getting
his office is complicit in this? Because you seem to suggest that there are high-ranking people who are complicit.
That is obvious. And from this program, I am daring the National Security Ministry. The National Security Ministry. Mr. President, call your National Security Minister, the National Security Coordinator, the BNI, this arm of the security architecture. Let them bring any, or otherwise call it, any report that they claim that they've done on the Galamsey side, many of Ghana's forest reserves. Report there.
Are you suggesting that there's a report out there by President Nim? And I say, they are giving him the wrong information.
They are giving him wrong information. That, let me say it clear. They are not giving the president they call it the need to know base, because the National Security Ministry ought to debrief the president the day-to-day activities across district or communities, districts, regional capitals, and more ostensibly, what is going on in our Galamsey site. And I'm saying, are they giving the president the information that is required of? But then again and again, I'm sure the president as of now, I'm sure the president himself is aware that some elements within the national security architecture have also been accused ostensibly involved in the whole Galamsey drive. At least if they are not themselves in the forest, their surrogates are hiding in the forest, aiding and abetting. So then it becomes that this fight is like a cliche. It's he's not going nowhere. So
because these are some very, very explosive statements, man. Yeah, no, but that evidence?
No, what do you mean court to apply best?
So what can say that?
No, first, in the first place, me say, Mr. President, on the National Security Ministry, and produce any report to be a fact. The Galamsey menace, when producing from Rwanda, that's all I asked them.
Okay,
Two, I said there are some top officials at the National Security when we are aiding and abetting. Send me more BAD. But then one more in the America. Exactly. Now I'll speak for myself there. I did my own investigations with my crew. Our investigations, at the same PNP, and so many BAP and last with the think Akrama or Hono and some investigations many Miami near Penny, Kennedy, Japan. You try to see a home command, as I was saying, when we were just about exposing these menace, for some reasons, the National Security Minister now, Ura Kandapa, a friend no catch and say, yeah, Baba, yes, my body. Ora Kandapa, I can't say one freak in Japan about this. You should just come and deny. Number two.
Or the same will release the commentary, no?
Yes.
And of
no, the National Security Minister himself, we were about to do some expose on that very day of, I think it was Monday. He knew, say, about baby visa. So, Kennedy Japan called me and said, Jack, nenemo bedding. Then I told him what we are about to do. He said, no, wait. Come to the office. It was in the afternoon, around 11, 12. Which obviously was not even the time for me to go to the office to host the show. But because he summoned that meeting, I have to go. So I went to the office along with the document now. No, saying, no, we should change the topic. KSM, you know how television production is all about.
Yeah.
Show prep, but then to do something otherwise at the 11th hour, trust me, it was an uphill task. But then we're compelled to do so. So when I got to the office, Kennedy was there. We all sat together with my director of TV, that's the Kennedy's son.
Yeah.
And then my producer, who is also his nephew, we all sat. And in that meeting, we had a number of discussions. I showed him some of the document. He looked at it. And some of them, may I say, he got shocked. Because I wouldn't say there. At that time, the then minister, Dr. Frimpong Boateng, who was also the minister in charge or has the supervisory role, your forest reserves, on any document was part of the document we picked in our investigations. And one of these documents we picked that his signature was on this document. His telephone number was on this document. His son, Jojo Frimpong, was on this document. His wife, may I say, this document, we were to interrogate it further. I called Dr. Frimpong Boateng severally and overly, and he wouldn't want to come forward to answer questions on that particular document.
You told him about the investigation and what?
Yes, he knew. Frimpong Boateng knew. So somehow, then his son Jojo Frimpong came forward. Why he came forward was also on a different path.
His son came forward and said what? That
his son, not necessarily that he came forward, but because we were tracking call it a household, who we believe allegedly also knows something about this Galamsey stuff. And that for me, it was also to find out whether the minister, Mr. Frimpong Boateng, is part of the syndicate and at the same time a minister. That question keeps bothering. But something happened and we realized that his son is already in there doing his own mining. Whether it was proper mining, community mining or not, we were talking to him up to a point where his son opened up, including even open up to some cabinet meetings that his father attends, and they are talking about this mining stuff and all of that. When Jojo Frimpong got to know that, no, this guy is an investigative journalist and this is what I'm doing, then he got angry and then he cut further communications with me.
He opened up to say what? He opened up to say what?
He opened up to say what is going on in the forest reserves, water bodies and all of that, and his machinery in the forest and what he's doing. Because you know what? Many times then his son's pictures and other things that he's doing in the forest had come out. But then they had come to deny that he doesn't know anything about the mining and all of that. So we were at, more or less to say, we were at the bottom watching closely what the boy was doing. And we tried to also eavesdrop on most of his conversations and what his father has been telling him and decisions being taken at cabinet level. So we got quite a number of them. Okay. It was at this point, then we realized that a number of the NPP, or call it the governing party officials, were involved. So it's as if or as though they were not ready to go in consonance with the directives of the president. Or to say, sir, Mr. President, when our person will fight to Galamsey, we want to do our own thing. So around this time, I know, say, Kennedy swim never be brave. Because party elements be crab and hobby pancho. Some party elements be. Somebody like Nana B, together with somebody, one called Hoko Pacho, one called Panicho said, Dinty. Nano minim said, Ken, bet me
Pacho, did he tell you somebody Panicho and now you know for a fact? Were you there? Did you see them? Or he told you, say, oh, my Panicho?
I have that fact somewhere there quietly hidden. But all I mean
for a fact that they went to Panicho.
Yes, sir. One more nipa be bane ho ebe Panicho abasa Galamsey nsem ya almost MPP for. So, what I want to know is that was it all about okay, people will continue to beg, and then after begging, then they turn around and they are doing otherwise. So this Galamsey thing that is eating this governing party, KSM, I would say it's a self-inflicted wounds. It is a before. Because you can't sit here and tell me, say, that Chinese woman dropped in here and could find himself or herself in Ghana's forest reserves. Through what stuff, what kind of navigation is that? Without the aid of our municipal and district chief executives, this Aisha one, I have done this investigation on this woman somewhere, I think in the year 2015 or so. And immigration officers who took money from this woman, top officers in government who have mailed this woman, and for some reason, Mami Way could grow all the wings and could grow whatever, and was doing all sorts of things in town. And the areas is here about Aisha one or whatever her name is. Just first a kid gloves speaking.
The latest thing was that she has been refused bail. And you think this is like
you see, they should go and tell the Maries this. I hate this hypocrisy that these top high-ranking government officials, when they have positions, then they want to make it look as if, oh, Charlie, we are fighting. I don't like this fire service approach and crisis management. You know, we fancy in the crisis management and the fire service approach. This is complete balderdash. They should go and tell the Marines. The top officers in this country know about what this woman is doing in this country. Most of top officials who have slept with this woman, and this woman has video recordings about them, are they aware? Again, it's our national security minister and the top national security architecture aware that the woman is a spy. She's an undercover agent to the Chinese government. Are they aware? And because the other two
Kwaku, how did you become aware that she's a top spy? Is it the Kwaku, the Hawk investigations? Where are you getting the information from that this woman is a spy for the Chinese government? Where do you have them coming from?
Yes, you see, the world continues to advance, and the world is moving in a certain fashion. You see, if you are a country at this time and you don't understand the policy driven, where you need to inculcate in your policy direction, security and intelligence role, formulate policies that guides you to be able to sense, smell, and knows that in order to succeed, it's no longer the physique, but intelligence is the key in the success of every country. In the United States, in Britain, all over. And third world countries like Ghana must also, wake up to the call. Say, it's about intelligence, though. And KSM, intelligence is across every facet of our environment. That's why in our School of Intelligence, we say is the process that involves collection, correlation, evaluation, analysis, integration, interpretation of information on the threat to national security. So if somebody drops in your country and you are unable to put a data to navigate, to assess who this individual is, and all it's about, oh, they've come, Ghana, we have the big hubs. We are so much, we consolidate hospitality. Oh, really? No, we are not Jesus Christ. So we must be able to build a proper data on all persons, group of persons or persons coming in. How do we assess them? How do we know? America, Kroka, Krake, that way. KSM, you know, you are there. That's your hidden corner now. At the end of the day, you cannot. What do you mean, America, Kronum, and decide to do anything and say, oh, media, me disturb the American people. Really, you'll be arrested. You see, until we get to understand that the national security architecture must be up in latest technology, the know-how, what it takes to, you know.
Are you suggesting that are you suggesting that they don't have the know-how, or they do know, but for reasons they are refusing to apply it, or you think they don't have the know-how?
You know what is happening? It's not the agencies themselves. It's not the machinery. No, it's about the leadership. Did you hear that?
I heard it.
It's not about the intelligence agencies that the setup is what the issue is. No, it's about the leadership in position. That's what it is. Okay. Look, until recently, there's a push and pull at the national security architecture. Is it Lieutenant General Edu Amanfo, former national security coordinator? This man was a former director of DI, that's Defense Intelligence. And this man was moved to the national security mainstream as a coordinator. KSM, you need to read some of the document. The rift between the top brass and this individual I just mentioned. Until recently, it came out that, oh, the president has done what? Reshuffle. Rubbish. What kind of reshuffle? When you change Edu Amanfo to somewhere, blah, blah, from the national security mainstream, you push him somewhere. And even the push of Edu Amanfo from the national security mainstream is being said, allegedly orchestrated by, call it the Dankwa group or whatever it is, that one to a source has written explosive document, which soon will hit the media airspace for Ghanaians to know what actually precipitated the transfer of Edu Amanfo. You see, Ghana idea.
Okay.
Nobody tries say and nobody should fear anybody. We are all subservient to the laws of this country. You see, so until the security architecture would wake up to the call, there are fine men and women in the service. KSM, trust me, they are there. And this is not the first time Ghana is having national security ministers handling issues. No. The likes of Captain Kojochi Cartel, we now be saying called Bevlo Lattes, Francis Kwaku, what do you call it? What's his name? I've forgotten. Lieutenant Kanasa, Jima, and lots of them, including what's his name? I want to mention a particular name. Also, a very nice.
One second, though. I didn't hear, but to say take a commercial break. So let's take a commercial break. When we come back,
we need more hours.
Folks, as you can see, Kwaku is on fire there. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, the discussion will continue. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back.
The KSM Show.
I'm sure you know that the Harlot Life Assurance is proudly associated with the KSM Show. Now, the information from Harlot is this. Life insurance is no longer for the selected few, man. Everybody can get life insurance. All you have to do is to have a Vodafone SIM card and you dial *269# and just follow the voice prompts and you'll be easily registered for your life insurance. If you want to talk to more people about how this thing works out, then why don't you dial their hotline, which is 0302 799 788. That's the hotline to Harlot Life Assurance.
It's what here did Ebusha piece or be 1,000 Ghana cedi near Fancheshe or Penny Quabia Yeno. Ayaka.
Mommy, I have 2 boys in my home. See, my leg is broken. The hospital bill they are finished. My house money all they are disconnected. So what for no money? You come and say it now, mommy.
And tell family.
Me bambo life insurance and tip and was so me. A player timi, Adiachi a year, Adiachi from body, Ukofeska wa him. Me catch the book banku. With little money like 1 cedi. So when you are from here, or catch him say, insurance dear, a big man talk.
You just dial *269. No about hash. Where we
always is a chicken, it's a chicken.
With 1 Ghana cedi, 5 Ghana cedis, 15 Ghana cedis, or 30 Ghana cedis per month, you can get up to 30,000 Ghana cedis for funeral and disability cost. Dial *269 hash to sign up via Vodafone Cash today. Me Bambo, insurance made for you.
Cactus Creek still firing on all cylinders. If you have a party of about 10 to 12 and you want some nice, cozy preparations in a serene atmosphere, just give them a call. They'll make all the preparations for you. They get you the greatest package you can ever get, and you will have a great time. There's a pool, there are games, there are so many things you can do at Cactus Creek, and I'm sure most of you know already. So if you want to get in touch, call this number on Cactus Creek.
0302 955 432 or 0302 965 460. Reservation, we have some new numbers, and the new numbers are 0302 955 432 or 0302 965 460.
The best decision you'll ever make. Welcome home.
Are you traveling to any of these cities? Accra, Wa, Takrade, Kumasi? There's no point driving again, man. Driving is overrated. The best thing to do now is to fly. And if you're going to fly, your best bet is with Passion Air. So call Passion Air on their hotline, and that is 0800 221 221.
Most of you are loving my jacket. Mr. Sao, I am if a rough. The jacket is provided by KSM Essentials. So if you want some, this is the number to call, 0209 059 215. So call KSM and get yourself a pretty decent jacket.
The KSM Show.
Okay, folks, we are right back, and this is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Last week we started with Kwaku, and we decided to wrap up this week, and he's bringing out issues not the emotion. Kwaku, I want us to wrap up on the Galamsey thing, because we have another series of investigations that are also intriguing that I want to get some little insight into. But this Galamsey, so what you're saying to conclude is that you don't think, or you think that it is not something that the will is there to fight. It's just lip service.
Yeah, I think, Zabia, well, to demystify, it's much clearer. I think the president has the flair or the flavor to push for something. And he also wants to demonstrate to Ghanaians that he really wants to, get to the nerve center of these minutes. But what is now striking is his inability to also crack the whip on those that he know are part of causing this harm. And I know now the president cannot speak to us in isolation or in a certain ignoramus kind of, he's a unimdieko, he knows. But to crack the whip, I think.
Sorry, waiting your boss, when you are paying candidate Japan, say, when it comes to Galamsey, dear president, was that a reference to this whole thing? And then
well, I don't know. I don't know what he knows at that time and under what circumstances that he said that, but that's he may be answerable to that particularly.
Okay.
At this time, I'm speaking for what I have, gone through. So I think that it's a knee-jerk approach. There's a lot of knee-jerk approach. There's a fire service approach. We don't understand what is all about the mineral deposit that we have to take our time and work at it, take it from the soil, and maybe we can even create what you call metal bank or some sort. We allow these foreigners like the Newmont, without apology to them, and all those foreign miners in this country who can go and hide themselves in Ahafu, Kenyase, or Boise. They drill, they take off our mineral deposit, all right? And when they are coming, we lay red carpets for them to pass on, including that of tax exemptions. They go in there, and then they dig the soil to the depth, destroy our forest reserves, destroy our communities, our food staples, at the expense of those Ghanaians in there, like Obuasi, which is almost like a rock. Anytime to hit the iceberg, it will crumble like a disaster we have never seen before. And the leadership of this country are happy to see all these things happening. When they take these minerals and they go, the question remains, how much of percentage do we get out of this? They are talking about Ejapa. Are we therefore saying Ejapa is the best deal that can compensate the mineral deposit they are taking away? Come on, this is sickening. And the leadership must be told in plain words, we don't deserve this. We don't. KSM, like I told you off air, that, listen, we are I stand to be corrected, the 6th largest exporter of gold. And then when it comes to cocoa, what? The 2nd largest exporter of cocoa. These are two main Ghana's export earning. Now, let's stay a while longer with gold. What it is about Ghana, the leadership was 6, to bring in some top Ghanaian businessmen across the world. Let's form a consortium where we would be in charge of bringing our own refinery. So the gold we have discovered, the bauxite, the Yinehim bauxite, that we have taken $2 million from the Chinese government for the construction of municipal roads and all of those things. And anytime soon, if the MPP government will remain or otherwise a different government, they will continue with this arrangement by giving that Yinehim bauxite to them to mine. And we are told that the deposit of this bauxite is over 250 billion worth of bauxite, $1 million. Why don't you form a consortium? Let them bring the refinery here. Let's dig it ourselves. Put the gold bars in this.
I understand everything you're saying, and understand your frustration. And this has been the cry of many true-blooded Africans that, Charlie, this system, we were colonized.
And that, for me, fundamentally, is how it demonstrates largely that the leadership, the last time I said that sometimes the leaders should take it easy with us, that they are sick. Nana Kwabena Nketia said something like, quotes, he said, we sometimes have to be angry in order to put it right. Under the Fourth Republic, KSM, line the leaders up. Tell me who has succeeded in putting forth right, the birthright of Ghana, before their pride in buying Land Cruisers, SUVs, luxurious houses, wiring funds into foreign banks, and all of that, and the rest of it is women. How many of them? They don't have the country at heart. They themselves don't even understand where they are and what they are doing.
And Kwaku, the sadder part of this is this, that the electorate, which has been responsible for putting in place all these governments, whether through the Fourth Republic or whatever, do not really, like you said, are not angry or critical enough to question. So I think this is all made possible because of a very lackadaisical electorate. And
yes, do you know why? Do you know what is causing this? Sometimes, KSM, you may, however, not blame the electorate too much, but then what has caused this, and the electorate have not been, awakening enough, is also the cause of is the media. Blame the media for this. When the media becomes extremism, when the media patch themselves into political households, they're no. So no, but the media now, We are going to open the eye of the citizenry. We are going to say it as it is. It is as what it is. Oh, it's women kind of credits our citizens in Wikia. No.
The
media houses mean that, and most of the media houses belong to politicians.
Yeah. But do you think the media is awake? Is the media awake? Rise to the realities, or they are equally?
We know what is happening. The media know what is happening. But the answer, and they say, media need now patchy political camps, and that's fundamentally what is disturbing us. I'm telling you, no doubt about this. Because, and you see a meme, say, this friend is saying mining companies destroy Ghana's forest reserves, water bodies in Asefo. It's a Ghana penny for ni nim. Media no so nim say no. Women conscientize them say listen. Yen so jangu so. Let all these mining companies leave the shores of Ghana. Bring this Ghanaian consortium. Yen to gold, no. Ne yen create a metal bank. Yen fani na nkogu. Now call this the Chinese, so the Western power why. Do use your metal bank as what? Collateral for your your development. At the end of the day, when we for me a Japan company who are London and said, no, let them out, let them get out of town. Let Ghanaians, because this is one thing that one particular head of state was able to inspire the indigenous Ghanaian business, and that's Lieutenant Kutu Echampo, who did it so well to the extent that his government also remained the only government that did not go for IMF economic policies.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Well,
what is happening today? This is a guy who was able to zero down on Ghana's debt portfolio, reduce it to the minimum bearing. Yeah. This is a guy, Otumi Shema, it got to a point. Ghana was able to export rice. Ghana was exporting what? Fish to South Korea. He encouraged local businesses. He understands that the private sector is the engine of growth. Kutu Echampon encouraged all these business guys that we came to hear of them, the BA Masons, the Sion Tata Breweries, the Boache Mattress, the Kwaku Motors, including we are talking about what do you call it? Volkswagen is here. Yeah. Volkswagen had been here before in the Champions era.
You remember what he was always saying? That we should be the champions. They said he wants Ghanaians to be the control the commanding heights of the economy.
Exactly.
That's what people were saying. They should control.
Did so much. Up until the latter part of his government, took a nosedive between 1977 and 1978, where Ghana's inflation went upper heights of almost around 117 and dropped to 68. At a point, our foreign and domestic debt was 3.6 and then 2 billion respectively. Food prices came to about 59%, with crude oil hit $35 per barrel, all-time high. Population at the time was 2.8%. And compared to today's population, what's the significant margin? It is nothing to write home about. 30.1 million people cannot, will not, and be able to produce and eat themselves. And we sit here, we import over 6.8 billion of what? Metric tons of rice. 300 and something billion worth of what? Fish into the country.
Yeah.
We import 1.88 billion of vegetables.
Just give me a second there, man.
I said something is wrong.
Yeah. But how frustrating. Since when have we been talking about this? Have we just been reduced to a people that is all talk and no action? And I mean, look, time when I was much younger, crowd. Now me branch class. That time now Form 3. That time in the GSS. When it was secondary schools, I think we had something called the Student Movement for African Unity. And I remember back then, this is 1973. We're having the kind of discussions that people are talking about now. 73. Around
that time,
and he talks about Operation Feed Yourself and things like that. So right. I'm saying that these things have been every now and then. This breeze of nationalism blows over our people. The challenges say up to now we haven't. So does it speak to something larger, that there's something fundamentally wrong with co-black? And we don't want to go there. But sometimes it worries me. It worries me. We talk about Galamsey for China Faber saying you, and you mentioned it. Who allows them?
Yeah.
They to Kutuka and go straight into where the lands are. We are the ones taking them there. So what would the best way to channel? So at the end of the day, so what kind of people are we?
So you see, the Ghanaian, I think in some years back, here's some more time or even beyond. You see, the Ghanaian understands who he is and the kind of emblem, or if you like, what signifies the Ghanaian, and he's saying a certain tune that resonates with the can do, and also to believe in himself or herself. There, and all those patriotic songs that we hear in those days. This time, what is happening? So when you hear such, and normally we now in those days, look right now, and a sense of realization, be said, Charlie, would you want you? One sample, you cannot afford to destroy it, nevertheless, to allow a foreigner to come and do it. But that sense of spirit and any hobium, meaning when how we can be able to bring it on board. And again, I also think that partly we can also blame it on leadership. Leader, why not Jenny said, or on this path? KSM, mean your opportunity sometime December, Memphis, another year, last year, December, I visit Rwanda. And guess what? The size of Rwanda, the whole landscape of Rwanda, and the size is as that of entire Ashanti region with about 5 provinces. And trust me, you cannot, get to Rwanda. Maybe so much. It says, free in a bios space, as far as Paul Gigame. Now, me drone, even at the airport, KSM, me bo, I did my come Shen and Sopan said, Sir, Emipaya Umugu and Montisia, human capacity allows you to make once in here. All our principal streets are all made of what? Hawkers. Emipamao and Umugu, ye waste to Makeke. They who do Rwanda. And to make us say, a country that has gone into what? A civil war of how many years?
And how many people died there?
It has waked up and is moving. And when you reach there, you can see that the entire Rwandan people have a sense of direction with a 40-year development plan. And I'm told they have not been able to walk about 20% of that journey yet. KSM, London, America, Amsterdam. You will see hotels like Radisson Hotel near there. I don't know if they Ghana, but they do Rwanda. Why? Because they know it's like the system is accepting all on board. Even me drew one more airport one, I could count about 18 commercial flights at the time. Then I asked the question, is this all for the government? They say yes. And then they told me that the rest are into international airspace. And it is one of their main economic earnings. Let me say, into Ghana, so a gateway to Africa, beacon of democracy, Ghana beyond aid, and all these useless, foolish
sloganeering. That's what we do.
We don't even have one commercial flight to the Bedroom Airport. Let me who said, let me share on. Let's just say, a month for you busier. Ya wo fufu a man for team wa ye gu fufu no so enam de that's what ohona air toba. Yes. This is sad, man.
But you know what year did we have that election?
The elections are now.
No, the last election that Rollins won. What year was it?
I think 1996.
Okay. I remember those in that time, we used to show videos of Rwanda. The war that 2016 Ghana focus said, do we want to tell like Rwanda? Peaceful election and just say Rwanda. Rwanda was like the symbol of failure.
Exactly. Okay. There was this song.
And now let's
the
look
leadership in this country.
Yes.
The leadership in this country, Rwanda, they should bow their heads in shame. Rwanda picking up on the mass development at the episode. Do you know, say, even our JHS system, JHS system. And then I am told, say, the Minister for Greater Accra and some municipal chief executives are going back there to learn something about local government. Aren't we ashamed enough?
Yes.
Gateway to Africa, beacon of democracy, golden age of business, Ghana beyond aid.
Yes.
Oh, please.
And we're showcasing them as a disaster country that we don't want to be like. Today, I'm sure Uganda is showcasing Ghana essentially. We want to be like this country, give away all our assets.
KSM,
like this.
Look, Ubedru Rwanda, the entire township Nankasano, just say a feed that form say the feed that for. Across everywhere. There's rubbish everywhere. Meanwhile, there were a lot of rubbish companies when we are in charge of all of this ye sika free consolidated fund with each other because someone proper room no mon fat refuge. Now it is even now you said part of what Rwanda is doing is a refuge about a means of employment to people because we're more converting refugee into something else. Just said I don't know what spirit that drives Paul Kagame. KSM, I was really shocked. Very shocked to see the things that guy is instilling in the people of Rwanda. Just said, and I'm saying, sooner, not too long from now, I think that Rwanda will lead the rest of Africa. Forget about Nigeria, forget about South Africa, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Ghana. We ain't going nowhere. Ghana, the end there, Yakuko School, Cambridge, Yale University, Professor, Doctor Emeritus. That's about it. I don't go. We feast in this. Excuse my language. This foolishness, and it's not yielding any results. And like I said, the last line of defense to protect when these politicians are milking the state coffers, daylight looting, which is the clergy, and I said the church. Are so who vampires, and they are sitting and milking the ordinary Ghanaian. They are using their churches as a cash cow and as money-making machinery. And so the Ghanaian is caught in this fixed crossfire. And you use it. Yes, and you joke.
Joke. You know, Muna Ghana say mudio, you know, we have the baton of the Muna Mafa. What do you see for Ghana? Look at your age group, the youth, and you people that are upcoming now. You people that we call the future of Ghana. What do you see? What do you get? You tell me. Do you think that the awareness that we need to correct these wrongs are coming? Or Musu, you are going to go and play the same old game that has filled this country, this bipartisan gibberish thing? What do you see from the angle of the youth?
No, I think that we need to demystify this drive properly. And I know that it's really an uphill task. It's really not going to be an easy task. And again, I say that it's also not one man's fight. There are lots of people, KSM, who I may say that they are not necessarily or must be seen as journalists, but they have this spirit drive to, as it were, also come join and we crusade. But maybe we haven't identified them yet. That's one. Two, I also say that do not wait for you to be identified or some sort. Wherever you are, wake up. It could be that you are in a community, you are in a certain society, you are in a certain whatever. We must begin to send messages across. And then put the entire easier mind and say, the social media is helping to fight this. So if the social media is helping us to fight this, then all the wrong things that were difficult to, as it were, identify them in the days gone, it will be easy now to identify them across and preach against it, fight it, and all these, bald head crazy men who must be chased out of town. We chase all of them out of town.
Kwaku, you'll be surprised. We've killed one whole episode now. We didn't even get into the other segment. So this is my call for part 3. But we have to end it up here today because the whole. But needless to say, I think we have touched on some magnificent, very, very important issues. And let's wrap it up here. And let me tell the audience to stand by for another session I'm having with Kwaku.
Because we did not even talk about the exposés. Fake men, fake men of God in
the episode, the time is up for this particular episode. So you stick around. There's more to come. But let me wrap up on this episode
Yeah.
Let me wrap up this episode. Thank you very, 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 very much for your firepower and anyway, and everything. And let me.
And some your time, Lisa.
Your time, Lisa, but so there, behind the scenes, and I'll tell you what we're going to do next. Why, folks? I'm sorry we have gone over the time, but Charlie, TV Charlie, we started at your 5 days now. You know, but Charlie,
you have forgot to say you also instilling in us some doctrines, and that's what is, you know, we are following the steps. And then Amma Asofo will say we are here to destroy the body of Christ. No, we want to sanitize the body of Christ.
We will do that. Massa, we'll do that in a special program coming up. You know, because I'm happy to say that the seeds that I planted 20 years ago and was lambasted and I was criticized, I'm now seeing the fruits in the likes of you, in the likes of Avram and people like you. But you need time for this now. And folks, let me thank Kwaku very, very, very much. And please stick around.
Can I say my last words?
I say your last word.
Yes, my last words is, folks, I hope that KSM will give us the next episode. And that next episode, we are going straight to the expose of fake men of God in this country. Pastors, prophets, and bishops. That expose nankasa nekesi nankasa ebeba is coming. But KSM besi ema tibet. And all these renowned bishops in the country are in those days, baby,
Hatch, well, the Lord's anointed. That's it.
They are all crooks and they are liars. God is about to
this will be continued, folks. Let me sign off now, and to get back to you, KSM signing off in the words that I always do. I'll let Kwaku sign off me. Kwaku, we are
out of here.
Okay, folks. See you next week.